watch out for anyone who comes...
At 11, a man reveals a deep personal secret, hoping it will help save thousands of lives.
His crusade is a jolting reminder that AIDS can strike anyone, anytime.
From the medicine that's supposed to make you feel better.
It has happened to about 10,000 people, all of them hemophiliacs who are silently dying from AIDS. Tonight, in my update file, an angry Fairfield man is demanding some answers.
Looking for signatures. Looking for signatures. I'm looking for signatures.
Ken Baxter says he is looking for signatures and he's looking for answers. Baxter's a hemophiliac who believes that he was infected with HIV back in the early 80s by a medication he needed for his bleeding disorder.
I don't want to be known as the guy with HIV and hemophilia, but I've had a lot of friends die in the last 4 years, about 30 of them. And a lot of them haven't talked about the fact that they got HIV from medication that they were using. And the companies that were making the medication weren't real responsible about recalling the products.
Baxter, like many hemophiliacs, relies on a medication called Factor. He injects it once a week to prevent internal bleeding. Living without the medication, which is a blood byproduct, can be very painful, even deadly.
Well, they could die. It could be life-threatening. If they have an internal injury or a head injury, they could bleed to death and die.
Blood used to make Factor is now carefully screened. But back in the early 80s, before much was known about HIV and AIDS, blood was not screened and began to carry the deadly virus. There are 24,000 hemophiliacs in this country. More than half of them are infected with HIV. If they got that infection through tainted medication, who's responsible?
The government, the Hemophilia Foundation, that should have been watching. That's like the People's Union. They should have been watching to see what was happening to the blood supply. The factor companies that were supplying this, they knew what was going on. 1982 and 1983, they knew that something was in the blood supply, and yet they gave it to our men and young boys from all the way up to 1985.
Baxter says he wants answers from the pharmaceutical companies that produce the medication. He's taken on a petition drive calling for a congressional investigation.
I'm wondering if I'll die before I know what the truth was, before the truth of what happened with the medication.
Now, if you'd like more information about Baxter's petition drive, you can call him at the number you see on your screen, area code 707-426-2059.